Hi everyone, this is Crafty Decoria and I hope you're all doing great. So for today's Dollar Tree Craft with me, I will be making some trees. Now these trees are going to be out of Dollar Tree items and everything except for some E6000 glue and some spray paint that I typically use when I do my DIYs is from the Dollar Tree. However, if you can pick up the super glue at your Dollar Tree and you can also get some acrylic paint and Mod Podge, then you could definitely make this a 100% Dollar Tree DIY. Okay, so with this DIY, I'm going to be making two trees. Now these are pretty large size decor pieces, which is awesome. I do have quite a few pieces, but I think the end result will all be worth it. So I'm going to be showing you just how to make a very basic tree. Then if this is something that you like and you want to make for yourself, you definitely could add your own touch to this. You could add ornaments, you could add lights, you could hang cards off it, you could do whatever you want. When I am finished, because I will be making two, one I will show you on camera, the second one you make the exact same way. But when I am finished, I will show you how I have them together, displayed together. I think these would be really nice in an entryway if you had the room, in front of a fireplace, on each side of the fireplace. Now, whether you want to pair them together or if you do make two, or maybe you just want to make one and then just place it in the corner of a room. I think it's a really, really cute DIY and I really hope that you guys enjoy this. So the spray paint I'm using is the usual Krylon Fusion paint and primer in a matte black finish, and I'm also using E6000 glue. Again, if you can find the super glue at Dollar Tree and you happen to come across the acrylic paint there and you pick up some Mod Podge, then just sand your pieces down that you want to paint it with the acrylic paint, and then apply a Mod Podge over top to seal it. And it works good as well. I just really love this Fusion all-in-one paint and primer because it adheres so great to whatever you apply the paint to, and it's just so much quicker to get the DIYs done. I also have 2 packs of these Jot magnetic clips. You get 4 in each. I have 4 of these planters, 6 of these triangular decor pieces, 3 of the buffalo check, the black and white tote bags, and these are, I would say, the medium-sized tote bags. They're not the largest size, they're not the smallest. And then 4 of these decor pieces here. I think they're like a MDF decor piece, so 4 of those. And I believe that is everything. So without further ado, let's jump into this tutorial. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so there is going to be a bit of gluing in this DIY with my E6000 glue. And remember, I'm only showing you one of the trees. The second one that I'm making is exactly the same. So here I've taken 2 of the planters and I've turned one upside down. I will put the other one directly on top, right side up, and then I will just take my E6000 glue, add it to the bottom rim, and then glue that in place and let that dry. Taking my decor pieces here, I'm gonna go ahead and remove all the little animal pieces at the top of the triangle. I removed the little piece on the white decor pieces, even the black, but I mean the black you can't tell as much. It did leave the backing of the decor piece, so I'm just going to go ahead and sand that down, and then taking some white acrylic paint, I'm just going to paint over top to touch that up. I'm ready to touch up my frames. At the same time, I went ahead and removed the insert from the frame. This way, as I'm letting the paint dry, I can go ahead and use these as my template on my tote bag here. I didn't think I'd be able to get 2 on one side, but I actually can. So I'm gonna go ahead, trace that on here, and then I'll cut them out, and then I'll take some glue and then glue the buffalo check to the inserts, and when my frames are dry, I'll be able to insert them back in place. So I've started cutting out the tote bag in the triangular shape for my inserts. And I've cut out a couple, I have 4 more to cut out, but what I realized as I laid the tote bag over top of the insert is that you can see through to the lettering on the white areas. So I have some Dollar Tree white acrylic paint on hand. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give a couple of coats to the fronts of the inserts, and then once that dries and I have all my pieces cut out, I'll be able to glue those in place. Okay, so I have my buffalo check tote bag pieces in the decor frames. They're all put back together. So now I'm going to glue those onto my long decor piece, the 2 decor pieces that I glued together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 2 white frames and I'm going to place one at the top, and then one is going to be at the very bottom. And then my black decor piece will go in the center. Now my white decor pieces are glued right on top of the, we'll say, the stem of the tree. So those are glued onto that, whereas the black decor piece is going to be glued onto the bottom of the top decor piece and then the top of the bottom decor piece. So just like that. So I'm going to make sure that I'm covering up as much of the stem as possible. And then once I know where I want them exactly, I'll go ahead and take some E6000 and my hot glue and then glue those in place. Okay, so once I glued all my triangular decor pieces down in the front, I went ahead and flipped it over to the back and then added some hot glue everywhere where the decor pieces were touching each other, just to give this piece some extra strength in holding it all together. So I'm just about ready to glue this into my pot, but before I do that, I have my Jot magnetic clips from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to add these to the top of each of the decor pieces. So this way, if I want to hang cards on it or pictures, you know, just decorate it for every season if that's something that I want to keep up for all, year long, then I can definitely change it up that way. If I want to add some lights, it's just another way to keep the lights on the tree. You can do so many things with adding the clips, or if you just prefer to keep it plain, if this is something you want to try for yourself, then you can do that as well. So with this, I'm just going to glue these at the very top, but with my bottom decor piece, because it is tucked in behind, I'm just going to place the clip at the bottom of the black frame and it'll work just the same. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue those down, and then I will be ready to add my E6000 glue to the bottom of my piece here, and then I will place it inside of my pot. Once I have it in place, I'll go ahead and take my hot glue and add it to the edge of the outer part of this piece so that it will dry and then allow the piece to stand in place enough for the E6000 glue to set and adhere really nicely. And then I'll be able to show you how I have this set up. I think I'm gonna place it in my kitchen because it just goes with the rest of my buffalo check. So can't wait to show you. So a little change in the DIY, but it's actually a change that I'm glad I ended up having to make, because in doing this change, I will be able to use this DIY in more ways than one, which makes me really happy. So I had added my glue to the inside of the planter and I placed my tree on the inside and it was starting to adhere. But what I noticed is because this piece is much heavier than the planters, it was a little bit flimsy. There was too much area around the stem of the tree for it to move around. So to fix that problem, I decided, since I had these Dollar Tree glass vases on hand, these are the cylinder glass vases, I decided to instead glue this to the center of the planter. This way there was less area for the stem to have to move around and it would be more sturdy, and it would also give me the option that I wouldn't permanently have to have the top section in the planter. If I wanted to remove it, then I could, and I could add flowers or a fern or just do something completely different with it. And when I wanted to have the tree inside of the planter, all I had to do to keep my tree in place was just fill, or actually first place my tree inside of the cylinder glass vase, and then fill the glass vase with either sand or rice or little pebbles, and that would keep my tree nice and stable. So I was much happier to come up with this idea so that I don't have to worry about it falling over and breaking. And again, if I want to change it up in a completely different way, it gives me more options. And also, if I'm using this planter with some flowers in a completely different way, then at the same time, I could just add some hardware to the back of this piece and then hang them on the wall. I have a beautiful black mirror in my living room, and I thought, how nice would this look on each side of the mirror? And then I could still hang pictures, or what would be even cuter is to hang some jute twine from this tree to the other tree, which would be on the other side of the mirror. And then it would allow me to hang even more pictures or seasonal cards, which I think would be really pretty. So I'm happy that I ended up changing this section. I think I'm going to get more use out of it. I'll have a lot of fun using it this way for now, and then when I get inspired to do something different with it, I have the option to do that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and glue down my glass vase, and then I will add my tree and show you how pretty it looks once it's all put together. Okay guys, so here are my Dollar Tree buffalo check trees, and I cannot tell you enough how much I love these trees. They're actually almost about 4 feet tall, and I think they came out so beautiful. To me, they are very country, very rustic, very farmhouse, and I absolutely love them. And I love the fact that now I can definitely change this piece up and use it in more ways than one. If I want, as I said, I can remove the trees and hang them on the wall and use the planter in another way. By adding that glass vase with the stones in there, it really has made this piece very sturdy. I absolutely feel so much better knowing these trees are not going to fall. And I just think it's great that now I have so much more options with this DIY. So here you can see I added some LED lights. Now these are the very first sets when the Dollar Tree came out with these, so they only have 10 lights on them. But you definitely can pick up the 16 pack that they sell now, and you would be able to light this tree up even more, which I think was really an awesome way to display this piece. At the very top, I ended up finding these 2 door knockers, I think they're called, or door wreath hangers. Not sure the name, but at the beginning of the season, I only found 2 and I never saw them again. So these came in so handy in adding these to this decor piece. I think they look adorable at the top. It just adds a little something more to this tree. It has the buffalo check ribbon and then the jingle bells and the little bit of pine with the pine cone in the center there. So I think this is the perfect touch to hang on the top of these trees. And again, you could hang ornaments off this. You could hang letters to spell out joy, J-O-Y. You could add pictures to this. I do have these set up in my kitchen right now, so if I wanted to even put some recipe cards on there, I think that would be really sweet as well. But right now I went ahead and added some jute twine to the tops of the magnetic clips at the very top of the trees from one end all the way to the other tree to show you how great this would work for those of you who like to display your holiday cards. Now right now I have about 5 cards on here, but you definitely could fit 9 comfortably per row, and then 3 on each side for the trees. I think that's like around 33 cards. So I think that is an awesome way to display your cards, so that you can see each and every one if you want to take them off very easily from the jute twine to read them and then just hang them back on. I think this is a really, really neat idea. I also have a banner that I picked up at Michael's, and I love this banner. It says thankful, so I think that would be a really neat idea as well if you wanted to hang a banner at the very top. But definitely there are so many things you can do with these trees. Whether you leave them plain or dress them up, I think they are a great addition now to my seasonal decor. At the bottom, I added this Dollar Tree cloth, you know, the they're not the microfiber, they're the very soft ones. I can't think of the name right now, but these are the ones that had the silver pattern, little round patterns on them, which I thought were absolutely adorable. So I think this makes the perfect thing to cover up the bottom. I just added some tissue paper and then wrapped the cloth around it, and I have the little battery pack here sitting at the top of the vase, which I then can cover up with the cloth. So I think that looks so stinking cute. And then if I do want to keep this up for spring, I can definitely just remove the cloth and then add some greenery to the bottom. For the fall, I could add some Excelsior to resemble some hay. You know, there's so many different ways that you can really dress up this piece if this is something that you like to use this all year long. But if you don't want to use it all year long and you want to store it away, now it is so much easier because I can just remove the tree and then store them separate from the planter, which is great if you don't have a lot of space. And that should do it for this DIY, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this. I had so much fun making this. For this size of a decor piece, it was super easy, super inexpensive, definitely a great bang for your buck. And I really, really hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, please click that like button. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. And I would so appreciate it if you could share the video because it would greatly help my channel. Well, guys, that will do it for this DIY. So I hope, as usual, you all take care of yourselves, and of course, I hope to catch you in my next video. Okay, guys, take care. Bye-bye.